Kevin Frankie said all of this on body cam? Man, he's big mad. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Pascal back at it again with another pop-up video. Be sure to follow me on all my social medias, The Pascal Show, one word. Hit that like button down below. Let's not forget to crush that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you crush that follow button on my Facebook page as well, if this is your first time checking out this channel right here. Anyway, we got to jump into this story. As you know, we have been covering the 8 passengers, Ruby Franke, Jody Hildebrandt, Kevin Franke, whole tragedy debacle, this case. We are now learning that a lot of this case will be held sealed, so people will not be able to find out any of the goings-ons in this particular case, which is very frustrating. And trust me, I'll try to find out as much information as I can as time goes on and as this case continues to move forward. But there is something that recently got put out, and this is absolutely crazy to me. Okay, look at this. Remember, we talked about Kevin Franke basically having a little hissy fit over the fact that his own flesh and blood, Sherry, his eldest daughter, gained access to the house so that she can get things for her siblings, who she is currently watching over right now as we speak. Let me remind you a few things. Kevin Franke hasn't been inside the doggone home for over a year, 13 months to be exact. Yet he is calling the police. He is showing up. He is angry. He is asking to arrest his own child, all this stuff. It's absolutely insane how angry this man is, especially when he has nothing. He hasn't been anywhere near the house in a year. Well over a year. So we got body cam footage actually showing us him talking to police, asking them how he can press charges against his own daughter. And the way he is just mad, y'all. He is big mad. But I want to share with you guys this article really quick, and then we're going to go into this video, because you know I like to give you a little bit of an article before we go into the video. So it says here, body cam video obtained by 2 News, the article I'm reading here, shows an exchange between Ruby Franke's husband, Kevin, and Springville Police just 2 days after her arrest. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a second, okay? This stems from a report Kevin made to police of a quote-unquote burglary at the Franke home and reported items being stolen. He says, or the police say, I explained to Kevin that the door was breached when SVPD served a warrant on the home earlier that week looking for juveniles. This is what the Springville Police officer says in this particular report. Those juveniles were found to be in the care of Pam Botcher, a woman listed as a quote-unquote team leader on the Connections Classroom website. The business is run by Jody Hildebrandt. Now, we already know about Pam Botcher, but Pam Botcher is basically the president of this whole organization. And so these kids were over there, and she's like, yeah, they've been over to my house plenty of times to do housework, to do chores and all that. Not basically saying like, oh, they come over to play the Xbox and hang out and play out in the backyard and have a grand old time. No, they go over there and they do actual physical work, okay, guys, which is absolutely crazy to me. So let's continue on here, okay? As for the items reported missing from the home, Kevin's daughter brought them to the police station to be handed over to Kevin. In the box, and of course we see this in the video because it's the police that are actually handing it looks like it's the police handing the items back to Kevin, okay? But in the box was 3 tablets, 3 cell phones, 3 cameras / GoPros, a stack of written journals, and 3 passports for Kevin, Ruby, and Chad, the officer's narrative stated in the report. So I want to go back really, really quick to the top of the article, because I did say I was going to mention something or talk about this piece here. Number 1, the very, very top of this article, it says here that this was 2 days after the arrest of Ruby Franke, his wife, whom, of course, from what we're understanding, he was fighting tooth and nail for. However you want to see that, to me, I feel it looks a little weak given the circumstances. Okay, I'm not saying every man who tries to work things out with their wife is weak. I'm just saying the circumstances in which, the environment in which Ruby Franke and Jody Hildebrandt built around the Frankie family, it's absolutely terrible. And how he responded to me, I feel like it's a little bit like a wet noodle response. But at the same time, nonetheless, I can understand him being frustrated and angry and stressed out, tired, overworked, so on and so forth, because of the arrest and the amount of backlash that Ruby Franke was receiving and still is receiving via social media and through the media as well. I mean, it's a big story, and it has not let up. Let's be real, has not let up at all. But the way he's coming in he's coming in so doggone hot. It's ridiculous. Again, I get it being tired. I get it being overstressed. The anxiety is real, all that stuff. But you could tell this dude he's out for some blood, man. I don't know what it is, but you could tell he's not going to let up. He is so heated and so angry that he's just I feel like he's aimlessly aiming his anger in the wrong direction, right? But let's take a look at this video and you guys will see it for yourselves.
There you go. Is it all there?
Yes. Yeah, explain to me again why this was not robbery.
Because it's a civil issue. You guys are family. She's been in the house before. You haven't been in the house in a year. She had interest in the items. She didn't take them with the intention to deprive you of them. So that's the theft code. We have to prove intent to deprive you of the items. And that wasn't her intent in having them. So the detective sergeant said that we're not going to charge her for anything.
Okay. I'll have to do some more research on that.
You're welcome to do that. If you want to follow up with her, text me yourself.
Okay.
He'll be here on Tuesday. His name's Sergeant McCoy. Okay. You're welcome. Take care.
Okay. So that is the video itself. But there's a few things that we got to take out of this. Okay. Clearly, he is not happy. You could tell he angry. He big mad. Okay. This dude big mad. He's just trying to consume all the frustrations that he has. Again, I'm looking at this as a situation of him aiming his anger in the wrong direction. I will say that. And I know I'm not trying to justify him trying to be, out here trying to find a way to get his own daughter arrested. That's wrong and that's messed up. This is his own flesh and blood. You should know better than to do that. You haven't even been in this doggone house for well over a year. So how are you sitting here trying to claim that these items are yours if you haven't touched them or even been around them for a year? Like I said, make it make sense. But you could tell he is really trying to control himself. He looks angry as hell to me. It's like this self-righteous type of position. Like, are you sure that I can't get my daughter arrested? You sure that I can't press charges? Oh, well, then I'll do some research on that. The hell are you talking about? You're looking at the 50. 50 is telling you that you can't because those kids were trying to get their stuff. No laws were broken. Are you kidding me? And he's sitting there going, well, I'm going to have to research that. So he left with his items, which should have satiated whatever vengeful, angry appetite he had in his body. He went home and he rethought this out. In fact, I guarantee you he did do his research. I'm sure he called his lawyer basically saying, hey, can I press charges on my own child? And probably that lawyer said, no. Why would you do that? One, it's a bad. Why would you do that? Because it's your child. Two, optically, it looks very, very bad in the case that your wife is going through right now. Let's just get it down to brass tacks. But this dude literally says, I'll have to research that. This guy's ridiculous. Let me play a little bit more of this again.
You haven't been in the house in a year.
Yep.
She had interest in the items. She didn't take them with the intention to deprive you of them. So theft, that's the theft code. We have to prove intent to deprive you of the items.
Now, I will say this too. I said this in the last video when we talked about the items and him trying to get his own daughter arrested. I want to remind you, there's electronics strewn about the house. There were 3 cell phones, 3 laptops, 3 tablets, and a bunch of other things, right? Some journals and etc. You're telling me that those kids haven't claimed those pieces of electronics, those electronic items, while he's been gone? He hasn't had any presence. Like he hasn't been present in the house for well over a year. So you're telling me those tablets, laptops, etc., are just going to sit there collecting dust? Hell no. Those kids are going to claim them, and those are going to be their new toys. Trust and believe. So the fact that he's getting angry about something that he has had no control over for the last year is absolutely asinine to me. But let's continue.
And that wasn't her intent in having them. So the detective sergeant said that we're not going to charge her for anything.
You got to remember, the kids are probably playing a whole bunch of games on these these electronic items, all that stuff. So I'm sure Sherry went to go get those items specifically for the kids' entertainment and all that. Like I said, I don't think anything wrong was conducted during the taking of these items. He is literally having a full-on temper tantrum for no reason. It's an aimless temper tantrum, but he's just aiming it at somebody. And he's looking at his own daughter and saying, you're the scapegoat today. You're the whipping boy. So I'm going to blame everything on you. And I think that's trash. This part.
I'll have to do some more research on that.
Like, he's like, I disagree with you. I don't agree with what you're saying to me, guys, enforcers and protectors of the law. They're telling him, hey, she did nothing wrong. And he's going, I'm going to have to do some research on that. Because he really wants to take her down. For what reason? This shows me trash. Okay? This is a trashy situation. This dude is trash. Sorry, but I said it and I don't care anymore, because this man should be out here trying to protect his children. And then also on top of that, he's the one sitting there going, I really want to get my family together and all this. This footage does not show that at all. This does not show that at all. Okay. Now he could be warped in the mind from Jody's teachings. Okay. Disgusting, manipulative teachings. Sure, he could still be coming down from that manipulation. Okay, but at the same time, this is your own child. These are your kids. Doesn't matter if you guys have some tension, misunderstandings, don't agree on certain things. Doesn't matter. This is your flesh and blood. These are your kids that you're trying to get back. You're sitting here saying, I want to get my family back together. Yet the first thing, within 2 days after your wife has been caught doing these unthinkable things to your children, the first thing you do is try to get your daughter arrested. Tell me if that is a good look or not. Completely goes against everything you've been saying through your lawyer, in statements and all that. You're trying to tear the family apart, not keep the family together. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like I said, this is trash to me. And this is not a great moment in his life. I get it. Or this is not a great moment caught on video. And I get it. This is not a great moment in his life right now. His whole world is crumbling down, but he's aiming his anger in the wrong direction. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that like button, crush that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, please be sure to crush that follow button over there on my Facebook page as well. It'd be great to have you part of the Pascal Show family on both platforms. Anyway, guys, It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.